you call a chicken? Photographs by Stephen Green-Armytage, written by Thea Feldman. Check out all these weird-looking birds. What do you think they are? Want to take a guess? This is a sultan white hen. This is a silky bearded buff puff pullet. This is a modern game Batman wheated pullet. This is a Polish white crested blue rooster. This is a Cornish white laced red rooster. It's a pullet surprise. They are all chickens, and so are all of these birds. Here are some names that chickens go by. You might hear them called fowl, which, by the way, is not the same thing as calling them fowl. Fowl is another name for birds. Fowl is just something gross. Chickens are domestic fowl, which means they are tame and people can raise them. Chickens that are kept and raised for eggs and or meat are called poultry. A young female chicken or pullet grows up to be a hen. The young male or cockerel grows up to be a rooster. Now that's a worth crowing about. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Just take a walk on the wild side. The red jungle fowl is the ancestor of all chickens. Experts have traced the roots of today's domestic chickens back over 4,000 years to the wild red jungle fowl found in Southeast Asia. People began to tame chickens thousands of years ago. Chickens are now found all over the world because travelers took them for meat and eggs whenever they want, even on board sailing ships. Don't count your chickens. There are hundreds of different kinds of chickens in the world today, including this old English game chicken, which looks a lot like a red jungle fowl. It all adds up. There are over 200 different kinds of breeds of chickens in the world today, but the total number of individual chickens tops the 10 billion mark. Just think, that's more chickens than people on planet Earth. Imagine if you had to give each and every one of them a name. You're a good egg. All chickens hatch from eggs. Chicken eggs can be a variety of different shapes and colors. It all depends on which kind of chick is waiting to hatch. It takes about 21 days for a chick to hatch out of its eggshell, which can be white, different shades of brown, speckled, or even bluish green. A hen begins to lay an egg when she's only about 20 weeks of age. Hens exposed to 14 to 16 hours of light a day, either natural or artificial light, will lay more eggs. Look at all the different colors of eggs that can be hatched. Here a chick, there a chick. What a traffic jam. All these cute little chicks will grow into a wide variety of breeds of chicken. Ready for action? Newborn chicks are able to see, eat, and drink and walk immediately after birth. They are covered in short, fluffy feathers called down. The down helps keep the chickens warm, which is very important for them to grow. So getting down is a good thing for chickens growing up. What's black or white and bred all over? From plain to fancy, chicken breeds come in spectrum of colors and patterns. Some chickens are solid colors, that is. Depending on the breed, a chicken's plumage can be made of all white, gray, or black or buff tan feathers. Some chickens have feathers with beautiful patterns on them that result in some pretty spectacular looking birds. There's the penciled look, a variety of stripes on each feather. The spangled look, V-shapes on each feathers. The molted look, a different color on the tip of each feather. and so many more. It seems that chickens come in every pattern except for plaid. A tail of feathers. There's more to a chicken feather than just its colors. Its shape and length are important too. You can often tell the difference between a male and a female chicken by looking at tail feathers. Females tend to have what look like a well-trimmed tail feathers, while male tail feathers tend to be longer and look looser in styling. Some chickens, like the Japanese Yokohama, have very long tail feathers, and the Anagadani, or phoenix, which is also Japanese, has very, very, very long tail feathers, some of which grow to be as long as 18 feet. Now that's a really long tail. Let's see how this shapes up. Chicken feathers come in different shapes and lengths. Feathers can be long and thin, short and fluffy at their base, or round and flat at the tip, to talk about just a few varieties. Chicken Little. Some chicken breeds are tall, and some are small, and sometimes there are big and little versions of the same breed. Hobbyists breed bantams to be about 1/4 the weight of the standard of their breed. Meet the comb heads. Every chicken comes with its own comb, not because chickens are vain. These combs are part of their heads. What's this part? They may look good, the bad, and the ugly, but combs are standard issue chicken headgear. And on their necks, chickens sport flashy wattles, purely for the ornamental reason. Maybe they are vain. Comb shapes include the 4 basic single, pea, rose, and cushion style, but can also branch out into more daring V-shape or buttercup varieties. Distinctive combs help distinguish one variety of a chicken from another, and are clearly quite decorative as well. Usually bright red. Combs can be other colors too, like black. Cock-a-doodle cool. Some chickens sport huge puffs or feathers on their heads that look like punk rock hairdos. Talk about your head cases. These feathery hairdos, called crests, are the distinguishing feature of some breeds of chickens. Female crests tend to be rounder, while male crests tend to look more misshapen and wild. Some crested birds go even further. They can have muffs, which are thick feathers poofing on the side of their faces, or they can have beards, tufts of feathers on their throats, and somewhere underneath all those crests are neglected combs. Don't they look bent out of shape? These chickens may look like their feathers are bent the wrong way, but in fact, they're not. They're curly. Some chickens are naturally twisted. Chickens with curly feathers are called frizzles, but they are not a separate breed of bird. Frizzled chickens just have that distinctive look of feathers curling away from their body. It's just like people. Some of us have curly hair, others don't. So, have you got frizzy straight? You're a star. Some chickens compete in chicken shows held all around the world. They are judged for many different things, including shape, color, and size. To win at one of these shows, you have to be the perfect chicken. Chickens and their owners have been feathering their nests with blue ribbons since 1845, when the first known major show took place in Regent's Park Zoo in London, England. The first United States show followed suit in 1849 in Boston. Today, thousands of shows, big and small, are held each year. The American Poultry Association, founded in 1873, has published a book, The American Standard of Perfection, the definitive guide for judges and others on all things chicken, since 1874. So while you may not be able to judge a book by its cover, you can definitely judge a chicken by the book. Why did the chicken cross the road? Have you ever really looked at a chicken's feet? They're pretty funny looking. Maybe the chicken crossed the road to use its feet. Chickens have long toes that help them balance and to do all the running around that they do. Most chickens have 4 toes on each foot, but some have 5. And some chickens have their toes hidden under their feathers that cover their feet. Male chickens have a sharp spur behind each foot that they can use to defend themselves against other male chickens. We don't have liftoff. Chickens are not good flyers. They get around best on foot. What? Chickens are birds, right? And birds fly, right? Well, that's mostly right. While most birds fly, some, like penguins and ostriches, never get off the ground at all. Chickens can get their short, rounded wings working enough to carry them only a few hundred feet. So their preferred method to travel is using their long legs. And from the look of things, it looks like sometimes they just feel like dancing. Foul ball. Some chickens just look born to party formal style. These chickens look ready to head off to a dress ball or a night on the town. After all, they've just entertained you, so now it's their turn to have some fun. And if there's one thing you've learned about chickens, it's that where they're concerned, anything goes.